right now, after, we started in September 2012, so a little bit over 5 years. Over the years, we've collected the world's largest speech corpus, speech database of Chinese people speaking English. And based on that, we built, which we believe, the most accurate speech pronunciation evaluation engine and the speech evaluation engine in the world, especially for language learners. So we are, able to tell someone with a bad pronunciation from someone with a good pronunciation but bad grammar. We can give people very accurate score and pinpoint the mistakes on their pronunciation, grammar, vocabulary, fluency, and coherence.
So tell us how many learners you have on your database now.
We have over 50 million registered users. That's our free user base. We launched our first and pretty much the only paid product, which was the world's first AI teacher on mobile phone for English back in July of 2016. By this July, so 12 months in, we have over 600,000 paying customers.
And how much does it cost?
Yeah, it's pretty disruptive. We charge people like 99 RMB a month, so that's basically $15 a month. So for those of you who don't live in China, typically learning English costs about, between, on the low end, $1,500.
Yeah.
Or on the high end, I would say $4,000 per year, okay? Give or take. So that's basically what we're saying. It's basically 1/3 of the cost annually. And we are actually also offering something more effective and efficient. So we basically tell people it's 1/3 of the cost and 1/3 of the time. We use, ETS, which also is in Princeton. We use ETS's test called TOEIC Bridge. Its score maps to the canonical sort of language proficiency system called CEFR, the Common European Framework Reference. And basically, we use that as a benchmark. We realize, okay, within 2 months, our 400 test group of users have 60% of them have increased at least one level from A1 to A2 or from A2 to B1. Net, they've spent about 36.5 hours across that 2-month period.
Wow, that's fascinating.
But then CEFR would say, hey, it at least takes you about 100 hours to go up one level. So that's the traditional method.
So do you know about the demographics of these people? I mean, what their ages are, where they live?
Yeah. For our free user pool, we have 1/3 about K-12 students, 1/3 college, and 1/3 sort of adults. Mostly adults,
really?
Yeah.
That's remarkable. And wow, that's. I'm interested though that you said that you've built this these algorithms, this voice recognition system that helps Chinese speakers to learn English. That sounds like a fairly specific thing. Do these algorithms, could you easily reverse them around so that you could help English speakers to learn Chinese?
As is, we've done some, Cambridge assessment, which is a co-owner and producer of the IELTS test, which competes with TOEFL, right? They came out of Cambridge. They've done some experiment with, Spanish native speakers and Arabic native speakers in addition to Chinese and others. They've been very satisfied with our level of accuracy, not only on pronunciation, but also on natural language understanding, which translates into grammatical error detection and across different spectrums. And now they are moving forward with the co-branded app with us.
So
it sounds like one of the things that he's really got going for him is this corpus of data, though. It sounds like having all this data, having all these examples of good and bad.
Correct. So we started from collecting this, bits and pieces of pronunciation data, right? Speech data, right?
Yeah.
But then, after we launched this AI teacher course, it's a structured course, it's a multi-level course. Right. Then now we started basically, quote unquote, recording people's full study trace. Imagine, when you were studying at schools, when we were in schools, we took exams. Those are snapshots of your learning status, okay? These are, sporadic. These are, not continuous. But now we basically have people's learning trace every step along the way, for these guys. And remember, now they're spending on average 5 hours a week on the app. So it's a lot of data.
But so in China, though, you're going to have people that that their most comfortable language is Shanghai Hua, or that it's Guangdong Hua. People that are Cantonese, Chinese speakers. really different, right? And so the way in which they approach English, the things they get wrong, the things they get right, that they have difficulty pronouncing, must be a broad spectrum. Does it matter, or it doesn't matter at all what the original dialect is?
Well, it does matter if you want to help them improve, right? So that's why we understand a lot about that. So we know people from Guangdong would tend to have certain mistakes. People from, say, I don't know, Sichuan, they will have some other types of mistakes.
Other types of mistakes.
Yes. So we from pronunciation courses to other courses, we give them personalized feedback curriculum. So what I didn't mention, which I should, is that in that AI English teacher course, at the back, it's the adaptive learning engine at work.
Yeah.
So it basically would analyze. On the one hand, the product it's highly interactive. It's gamified. So a lot of data coming in, and the engine would analyze it and start pumping out, expert-generated content, but in a individualized way. It's like Toutiao for learning, basically.
So interesting. So you're going to put a lot of American English teachers in China out of work, no doubt, with this app.
Well, the one funny thing is that it's a huge market. Okay.
Yeah.
Some people would, I think, for the time being, would still prefer to talk to a real human teacher, which is perfectly fine. But 80%, more than 80% of our paying customer base was paying for the very first time.
Third of the time, third of the cost, and you can do it on your mobile phone is a pretty hard proposition to resist. That's a serious question, though, Tom. I mean, this is an issue for all types of AI, is what does it do to job prospects? I mean, we hear these numbers out there. Everybody cites the Oxford study that says that 40%, 47% of jobs are going to be wiped out. I know McKinsey's done some interesting stuff that even something simple, like if voice recognition technology improved about 10 percentage points and just got to the kind of the mean of human capability, that it will wipe out all these call centers in Bangalore and Manila.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? And is that too dire, or do you think that's?
I think jobs change, and I think they change in every revolution we go through. I think the Industrial Revolution caused all kinds of job change. Actually, we're not plowing fields anymore by hand. That changed a lot of jobs. So we moved from agrarian to industrial to the tech industry and now to AI. So I think it will absolutely fundamentally change the way we work. I think it will change a lot of people who are consumer facing, whether they're in retail or whatever area, whether it's a call center, whatever they're doing. But I think it doesn't, the work we're doing on healthcare doesn't replace the doctor. The work we're doing, having all this data, I mentioned the data because he has the data. We bought a lot of data in healthcare. It's not publicly available data to have all these images to scan to build up at this learning repetition of what's a cancer cell and what's not. So you really need all that data. We're improving the odds, improving the efficiency, improving the efficacy of people who are reading these images, not replacing them. So I think for professionals in these fields, I don't think they're at any risk at all. I think if you look at truck drivers, I'm not so sure that autonomous vehicles aren't going to replace truck drivers.
Right.
And so I think that part of it, certainly they're going to have to change from the world in some of these roles to other positions. But I don't think we're going to replace teachers, even if we have outstanding language learning apps. I don't think we're going to replace doctors, even if we have, with Watson Health, we can do an awful lot of things to help those doctors make accurate diagnosis. He's serving an underserved market. Think about all the people in Western China who don't have access to top, all of China who don't have access.
Throughout China.